The numbers are out, and welcome to another episode of my Tucson Housing Market Update for February 2023. Hello, my name's Tyler Ford, Tucson, Arizona with eXp Realty, and welcome to Living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection, where each and every month I dive on into the numbers and let you know what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. And although I don't have that crystal ball and can't predict the market, going to do my best to give you an update on what's going on so you can make an educated decision whether you're a buyer or seller. But there's one number that's going to surprise you, and the median home sales price for February actually went up. And I know a lot of people are thinking this market's going to pull back. But again, going to go over the numbers. Home inventory levels continue to remain low, although they've gone up. And home values actually creeped up month over month a little bit. So stay tuned, and we're going to dive on into the numbers. Before I dive into the Tucson housing market, first like to cover interest rates. And interest rates were as high as 7%. We had a pullback down to about 6%, and now rates have ticked up a bit, and the Feds remain hawkish. So I'm going to go over interest rates. On a 30-year fixed right now, we're sitting at 6.73%. And on a 15-year fixed, we're sitting at 5.95%. But reach out to us, because there's some creative ways if you're a buyer out there to get the seller to pay seller concessions to do a buy down on your interest rate. So again, reach out to us. There's some creative ways. And if you're a seller out there as well, you can offer seller concessions to make your property more attractive and offer a buy down to make the buyer's mortgage payment more affordable. So let's dive on into the numbers. The first number I want to cover is what we call percentage of list. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price is the seller getting? And in a normal, healthy market, percentage of list is anywhere from about 92 to 97%. And one thing that I want to explain, and a couple people have asked, is what is that number calculated on? Is it the original list price, or if somebody does a price reduction, is it the final price that they had in the MLS in terms of calculating percentage of list? And it's a great question. And so percentage of list is actually calculated on their final list price. So it's somewhat deceptive, but I like to include it just because it shows you the trend. Trends are your friend. So it helps you understand which way the market's going. But in my opinion, the MLS needs to put out a stat of what percentage of homes sold actually did a price reduction and by how much. That would be a real valuable number if they were to put that out. So anyway, I'm going to include it. I like it. And again, it shows you a trend. So percentage of list for single family homes listed in MLS for February 2023 was 98%. For townhomes and condos, it was 98.1%. So the good news here is percentage of list since COVID hit for a couple years, percentage of list was at 100% or higher. So there was no wiggle room for buyers to negotiate sales price, seller concessions, and or repairs. So the good news here is percentage of list is no longer 100%. It's pulled back, which is making it more of a buyer-friendly market in terms of being able to negotiate price, being able to negotiate seller concessions, and also repairs. The next number I want to cover is what we call months supply of inventory. And that is, if no other homes were to hit the market today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off in the MLS? This is called months supply of inventory. And so for single family homes in the MLS for February 2023, month supply of inventory was 2 months, 60 days. So if no other homes were to hit the market today, all the single family homes would be sold in 60 days. For townhomes and condos, month supply of inventory was 1.4 months, which is about 42 days for townhomes and condos. If you're a seller out there, one of the questions you might be asking yourself is, how long is it going to take for my home to sell? go under contract. Not from the time that you list until it actually closes, but from the time that you list until it goes under contract, where you accept an offer. This is what is called days on market. So days on market for single family homes listed in MLS for February 2023 was 54 days. For townhomes and condos, days on market was 35 days for February 2023. By now, you're probably wondering what's going on with Tucson home values. Are we going up, down, or sideways? And just a little side note here, something to consider. And last year in 2022, the appreciation came in the first 5 months. So from January until May, and then we saw the market pull back slightly and go sideways since. So when we look at the year over year appreciation, we're sitting right at about the same as we were last year. So just something to consider. But the surprising thing to me is this month, and I know a lot of people are thinking this market's going to pull back, but I'm just not seeing it until we see a big increase in home inventory. And I'm going to go over that number next, and that is home inventory has gone up a little bit, but it's still relatively low, which is holding up home prices here in Tucson. So the median home sales price in Tucson, Arizona for February 2023 was $363,000, up year over year 1.7%. And again, month over month, we're up about $4,500 month over month. So home prices went up slightly in February 2023. So for townhomes and condos, the median home sales price was $270,000, up year over year 10.2%. Now my favorite number, home inventory levels, economics 101, supply and demand. And to me, this is the leading indicator, and it's all about supply and demand. And I know there's a lot of people out there thinking this market's going to pull back. And I'd love to say I had that crystal ball and I could predict that. But again, to me, this is what you want to watch for in order to determine what home prices are going to be doing, going up or down. So if we see a big uptick, an increase in home inventory, that means there's going to be a softening in the market. And as of right now, just not seeing it. Although we've seen home inventory levels go up, they're still relatively low. So home inventory levels of single family homes listed in the MLS for February 2023 of all of Tucson, there are 1,906 active single family homes listed in the MLS. For townhomes and condos, there are 236 active townhomes and condos. But the one thing that I would encourage you to do is go and look at my past video on, I do a live where each and every month I dive on into the MLS. We track the numbers. I put them into an Excel spreadsheet, but go take a look at that and you can see what home inventory levels have been doing over the last couple years, and or log in and watch the live that I do each and every month to keep updated on what's going on with Tucson home inventory levels. This next I'm going to cover is one that I was not covering just because it was always normal. It never really changed. It was always within a range and wasn't worthy of covering. And that is closed transactions, which have dropped significantly. And in a normal, healthy market, closed transactions for townhomes and condos and single family homes have always been anywhere from about 1,000 units upwards to about 1,500 units. But again, it's dropped significantly. And in my opinion, the big reason as to why there's not as many transactions happening right now is people are what are called, they're price locked, they're rate locked, where they don't want to get off their high 2s or low 3% rate and buy another home and now be at the higher rate. So it's gotten a lot more expensive. And on top of that, when you move, there's a lot of expenses that go into moving. And so whether you're doing a remodel, carpet, appliances, furniture, paint, all those things have gone up substantially, which makes it really expensive for people to move right now. Therefore, unit sales have dropped significantly. So unit sales for February 2023 for single family homes, there were 755 closed transactions, which is down year over year 31.4%, which is significant. For townhomes and condos, the unit sales for February 2023 was 148 units, which is down 25.6%. So closed transactions have dropped off significantly, and again, has a lot to do with interest rates and just inflation and the cost to do things when somebody sells a home, buys another, and moves. It's just gotten really expensive. If you're one to want to geek out on the numbers, I would encourage you to head on over to Tucson Homes and Lots. And if you scroll down on the home page, you're going to see a button here that says Tucson Monthly Market Update. If you click on that, it's going to take you over to the blog post that I do each and every month. And if you scroll to the bottom, you're going to see a banner that says Tucson Housing Market. If you click on that, opens up the PDF where you can dive on into the numbers. There's a lot of numbers that I don't cover, and it's a really, really good report. Well, that's a wrap for the Tucson Housing Market Report for February 2023. Some takeaways here. If you're somebody buying on an FHA or VA or putting little to no money down, I would encourage you to save more money, because home ownership done the wrong way can be a liability and a burden, and you need to have money to weather a storm when and if this market were to pull back, and being upside down on your home is no fun. If you're a seller out there, I would encourage you to look at the comps, look at a CMA, and price your home correctly. People are not chasing the top end of this market anymore, and if you price your home too high, you are going to end up netting less money. So by pricing it correctly, you have more demand, more activity, which then can actually drive the price up. Whereas if you price it too high, it's going to be crickets. People aren't going to be looking at your home, and as a result, it's going to sit on the market longer, and people, from a perception standpoint, begin to ask, what's wrong with this house? So again, make sure you price your home correctly. So again, I don't have that crystal ball, but all you can do is look at the numbers and then make an educated decision based on your needs and what's best for you. So hopefully you got value out of this video. If you did, do me a huge favor. Give me an internet high five by liking it. If you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and comment below. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection, you can subscribe to the channel. And if you hit that bell button, you're notified each and every time a video comes out. In the meantime, make it a great day.